Imagine a once vibrant city plunged into an unimaginable nightmare, a city where laughter faded, hope dimmed, and survival became an act of defiance. The 872-day-long Siege of Leningrad stands as one of history's most harrowing chapters, perhaps the deadliest siege ever endured. In July 1941, 500,000 soldiers of the German Army Group North, supported by 1,500 tanks and the German Air Force, advanced toward Leningrad, the former Russian capital. The air was thick with tension as the city braced itself. By early September, German artillery had begun bombarding the city, and within days, Soviet General Georgy Zhukov transformed it into a fortress. Hundreds of thousands of civilians, men, women, and even children, worked tirelessly, constructing defensive lines that stretched from Luga to Leningrad's outskirts. Yet Stalin's unpreparedness for internal defense left much of this effort disorganized and desperate. Weeks of hard labor led to expectations of an imminent assault by German General Wilhelm von Lieb. But that attack never came. Instead, a large portion of German forces was redirected to southern Russia. The remaining troops around Leningrad awaited further orders while the Nazi leadership devised a sinister plan. Hitler, understanding that Germany couldn't feed Leningrad's population, decided to let them perish from hunger and cold. Survivors, if any, would face annihilation, as many historians believe Hitler intended to erase the city from existence. By late September, Leningrad was encircled, trapping most of its population. Though around 636,000 had been evacuated by August, over 2.5 million civilians, including 400,000 children, remained behind. An earlier evacuation of 400,000 children in June had already met with tragedy, as only about 15,000 made it out, many falling directly into the path of advancing German forces. Soon, the agony of hunger gripped the city. Though ration cards were already in use, the siege reduced rations to a third of their original size. Bread loaves, mostly made of sawdust, barely sustained life. Within a month, the first cases of cannibalism were recorded, a grim testament to Leningrad's desperation. Relief efforts were centered on Lake Ladoga, whose freezing created a treacherous ice road, the city's fragile lifeline. Up to 400 trucks a day braved the ice, delivering supplies and ferrying refugees. But the journey was fraught with peril. Thin ice and relentless Luftwaffe attacks made survival a gamble. Many vehicles disappeared beneath the icy waters, taking lives with them. By the winter of 1942, the death toll had reached staggering heights. Around 200,000 people perished, their frozen bodies littering the silent streets. Hope flickered in the summer of 1942 with the Sinyavino offensive, though it achieved little. Only in the winter of 1943, after Operation Iskra succeeded in breaking the siege's stranglehold on Lake Ladoga, did supplies begin to flow more steadily. Still, it would take over a year for the siege to be entirely lifted. When the siege finally ended in 1944, the cost was almost incomprehensible. Nearly 1.5 million soldiers and civilians had died. Yet, despite this horrific toll, Leningrad endured, a testament to human resilience in the face of unfathomable cruelty. Even in the aftermath of such profound suffering, life resumed. Streets once filled with death witnessed laughter again. Yet the shadow of those years remains, a haunting reminder that beneath human endurance lies a capacity for both immense suffering and remarkable hope. Would we, in their place, have shown the same strength, or have we forgotten what it truly means to survive the unthinkable?